Welcome to another episode of Mindset Shift. Today we're going to talk about something that silently holds back even the most capable professionals: procrastination. That quiet, invisible force that keeps you from starting, that little voice that says, "I'll do it later," that delay that starts as a moment and turns into a habit. But here's the thing, procrastination isn't laziness, it's often fear. Fear of failing, of not being ready, of not being perfect. And when we let that fear take over, it keeps us from building the life and career we want. So today, we're going to learn one of the simplest, most powerful tools for breaking through it, the 5-minute rule. A mindset and habit that helps you start anything, anytime, even when you don't feel ready. Because once you start, momentum does the rest. This isn't about forcing productivity. It's about reclaiming your power, 5 minutes at a time. First, why do we procrastinate? The real reason. Let's start with honesty. We don't procrastinate because we don't care. We procrastinate because we do care, sometimes too much. We overthink. We imagine every possible failure before we've even begun. We want the result to be so good that the fear of not achieving it makes us freeze. Other times, it's not perfection, it's pressure. There's so much to do that starting feels impossible. So, we wait for the right time, the right mood, the right energy. But here's the truth. The right time rarely comes. Energy doesn't arrive before action. It follows it. The longer you wait, heavier the task becomes. You begin, even slightly. That's where the 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule is simple but transformative. If there's something you've been putting off, if a project feels too big or overwhelming, commit to doing it for just 5 minutes. That's it. Not an hour, not a full day, just 5 focused minutes. Set a timer if you need to, and start. Because once you start, something shifts inside you. You go from resistance to movement, from thinking to doing. And here's the secret. You'll rarely stop after 5 minutes. Starting breaks the mental barrier that's been holding you back. It replaces fear with flow and hesitation with momentum. 3. Why it works. The psychology behind it. Your brain resists change, especially when something feels uncertain, uncomfortable, or large. But 5 minutes, that feels safe, that feels doable. When you lower the mental barrier to entry, you bypass the brain's resistance. You trick your fear by making the action small enough to start, but meaningful enough to build momentum. This is how progress is built. Not in massive leaps, but in consistent, manageable starts. Think of it as a psychological warm-up. Once you've begun, your mind naturally wants to finish what it started. That's called the Zeigarnik effect, the tendency to complete unfinished tasks. So that tiny action, it becomes a spark that fuels sustained effort. Step 1. Identify your resistance points. Before you can use the 5-minute rule effectively, you need awareness. What are the areas where procrastination tends to appear? Ask yourself, what tasks make me instantly feel overwhelmed or anxious? Which projects stay on my to-do list week after week? Where do I say, "I'll start tomorrow"? Once you've identified those patterns, pick just one. That's your starting point. Write it down, because clarity defeats avoidance. Step 2. Break it down to the simplest step. Now that you know what you've been avoiding, make it smaller, much smaller. If the task is write the report, the 5-minute step could be open the document and write the first paragraph. If it's go to the gym, the 5-minute step could be put on your workout clothes. If it's clean your workspace, the 5-minute step could be clear one corner of the desk. You're not committing to finishing the task, just starting it. And once you start, you'll feel something powerful. Progress. Because even 5 minutes of progress is infinitely better than another day of delay. Step 3. Remove the emotional weight. We often attach unnecessary emotion to tasks. Guilt, dread, self-criticism. The 5-minute rule isn't just a strategy. It's a mindset shift. It says, I don't need to feel ready to begin. I don't have to have it all figured out to take the first step. By taking small action, you remove the emotional pressure that makes tasks feel impossible. Remember, you don't need massive motivation to start. You need small movement. Motivation is what follows, not what precedes. Step 4. Create a momentum ritual. If you apply the 5-minute rule once, it helps you start. If you apply it consistently, it helps you transform. So create a simple momentum ritual. Something you do each time you feel stuck. It could be taking a deep breath and saying, just 5 minutes. Setting a timer and playing calm background music, writing the first sentence, no matter how imperfect. This ritual becomes your cue, your mental bridge from inertia to action, and over time, your brain learns something powerful. Starting is safe. Step 5. Celebrate the start, not just the finish. Most professionals only celebrate when they complete something, but that's backward. The courage to start is worth celebrating, because every big achievement begins with a small, imperfect beginning. So when you apply the 5-minute rule, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, I showed up, I broke through resistance, I'm building momentum. That recognition fuels consistency, and consistency builds mastery. Step 6. Redefine productivity. Here's a truth most people don't realize. Procrastination isn't always about time management. It's about energy management. You can't do everything at once, but you can do something now. When you start with 5 minutes, you take control of your energy. You stop being paralyzed by the size of your to-do list and start creating forward motion. It's not about doing it all. It's about doing what matters, one focused minute at a time. Step 7. Build trust with yourself. Every time you delay something, you send a silent message to your subconscious. I can't be trusted to follow through. But every time you start, even for 5 minutes, you rebuild that trust. That's how confidence grows. Not from motivation, but from evidence. Small wins, consistent starts, proof that you can depend on yourself. And when you trust yourself, procrastination loses its grip. Step 8. Apply it beyond work. The 5-minute rule isn't just for work. Use it for anything you've been avoiding. Conversations, health habits, even personal goals. Want to read more? Read for 5 minutes. Want to meditate? Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Want to organize your home? Start with one drawer for 5 minutes. It's not the duration that matters, it's the decision. Because every action begins with a moment of courage, and 5 minutes is enough to find it. Step 9. Expect resistance and start anyway. Even when you know this rule works, resistance will still show up. Your brain will whisper, it's not enough, 5 minutes won't matter. But here's the secret, it always matters, because 5 minutes turns into 15, 15 turns into an hour, and that one small decision could change the direction of your day or your life. So when the resistance appears, don't argue with it. Acknowledge it and start anyway. You don't need to win the battle against procrastination forever. You just need to win it right now. Step 10. Reframe the story. Procrastination often carries shame, the feeling that something is wrong with you. But you're not broken, you're simply human. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. It's about choosing action over avoidance, one small moment at a time. The 5-minute rule is more than a technique, it's a philosophy. It says, I don't need to control the outcome, I just need to begin. That mindset will carry you through every creative block, every difficult season, every time fear tries to keep you still. If there's something you've been putting off, a report, a message, a dream, a goal, today is your moment to begin. Don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait to feel ready. All it takes is 5 minutes of courage, 5 minutes of focus, 5 minutes of movement. Because 5 minutes today can change everything about tomorrow. You don't need to conquer the mountain. You just need to take the first step. So set the timer, take a breath, and begin. If this episode spoke to you, hit that like button, subscribe to Mindset Shift for weekly conversations on growth, mindset, and clarity, and share this episode with someone who's been waiting for the right moment to start. Because sometimes the right moment is 5 minutes from now.